It's something that.
Okay, go ahead. All right. I would like to call to order a joint meeting of the Haymarket Town Council and the Haymarket Architectural Review Board this evening, Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. Roll call, please.
From the ARB, Capicello.
Here.
Lurson.
Here.
From the Town Council, Pasanello.
Here.
Lurson.
Here.
Gallagher.
Here.
Hager.
Here.
Ramirez.
Here.
Baker. BNA.
Here.
All right. So tonight we're going to have a presentation from Megan Bogue and Crystalline Boyett, I hope I pronounced that correctly, on their concept and design of a love sign and wall mural. Emily, can you kick us off?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So yes, Mayor did our introduction, and everybody up there should have a packet on large tabloid paper so that you can see in detail what we'll be talking about tonight. So Mayor and I are super excited about this. We have been talking for many years. I believe it's even in our strategic plan to talk about adding artwork into the town, growing our tourism and our community efforts. So when Megan approached the town, we were super excited to meet up and talk about a mural idea. It kind of became serendipitous that our maintenance guy, Matt, was painting the retaining wall and cleaning it up around the same time. And it kind of became this new idea that, well, maybe this wall is something that we could really do as a focal entry into the heart of Haymarket. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Megan and Crystalline to give us a presentation, and we can ask questions after they go through everything, if that's all right with council.
Hi, my name is Megan Bogue. I am a Haymarket local, and I love doing murals. So I have a small business called Whole Heart Murals. I've been doing it for about 3 years. I've done many murals around Haymarket and locally all around the area. Crystalline, do you want to go ahead?
I'm Crystalline Boyett. I'm also local. I live in Haymarket as well. I'm a graphic designer, but art major. So we clicked as soon as we met each other, and we both love to paint and draw and everything, and we're the perfect people for you guys. So we want to be anyways. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we were actually talking about how amazing it would be to do a mural for Haymarket. I've been a huge fan of Warrenton for many years, and they have been doing the most beautiful murals out there. It often draws a lot of attention to the mural, so it has a lot more people coming through wanting to look at the murals, interested in taking pictures with the mural. It adds a lot of character to the town. And I know that we're everybody's hometown, and so it would be nice to have that warm and cozy feeling that comes with local art. We also would love to just be able to portray some of the traditions, some of the local roots, some of the love of the Haymarket Farmers Market, and some of the just like local flavor, like the history, the buildings, the like love that we have for all our traditions that we have in Haymarket. And so we were thinking the perfect thing would be a giant love sign because it's what we love about Haymarket. And so our inspiration was basically just all of the traditions that we go through throughout the seasons. We thought the 4 seasons of the year in Virginia, we love our 4 seasons, you guys know. So we thought starting with fall, we would start with the L. And so we had some different, so this is basically the overall idea, but basically the L, we would start with doing some of the different buildings that we have. So we have the Red House Ordinary, the Old Bank Building, and the Haymarket Museum. And we have the train and some pumpkins and fall related theme. We were thinking that it would be nice to have the Haymarket sign as well, and just some falling leaves, some of that, Virginia foliage. Yeah.
And our lamppost.
Yes.
And the lamppost with all of the seasonal stuff. Yeah, as well.
Council, you'll see that the lamppost makes a reoccurring theme and presence in each of the letters. I have to say, when Mayor and I were talking, this was our little ode to all of Matt's really hard work that he does on the streetscape and how he keeps them seasonally decorated. So it was very important for us to have that.
Yeah, and it's kind of the first thing I think of too. When I think of Haymarket, I think of that view down the street when you're looking at all the like hanging baskets and the buildings, and like you see kind of a little bit of mountain in the background. That's like my first image when I think of Haymarket. So it's perfect to include them in each letter. So for the O letter, we have winter time. So we have like the big Christmas tree, the Santa. We have the St. Paul's, and we have some sledding and
Oh yeah, bonfire. I mean,
oh yeah, the
Yeah, we-
bonfire and the
and we-
Nutcracker.
yeah,
we
the
have the
Nutcracker.
Nutcracker too.
and then we did a vintage fire truck because we were like, Santa has to be in the truck.
Yes.
So
This is the V, and that's spring. So we have the Haymarket Farmers Market. We have some dogwoods, some cherry blossoms, more of the historical buildings. We have the
aroma.
aromas. Yeah, I was like the winery, the aromas with the love sign in front of that, and some of the other, yeah, the another lamppost from the spring. Yes.
And then,
And then E, we have summer, so we have cookies and cream, the bear, the iconic bear with the ice cream cones, because that's like a fun summer pastime. And then we have the Cupcake Heaven building, and some children on bicycles with cupcakes and ice cream. And then we have the summer concerts, and we have a horse and some fireworks and fireflies. Just all things that we think of when we think of Haymarket, you know.
oh, I see. You-
Yeah. And then maybe we can go back to the original picture as well.
And also, Megan, while you're, can you tell them where they could see some of your work if they wanted to go and check it out?
And
Yes,
eat at
so-
the same time.
And eat at the same time, yeah.
Yes, Locals Tacos and Tequila has one of my murals in it that's a big mural that actually has a lot of Haymarket buildings already. So if you guys want to go see some actual work that would actually be on the sign, you could definitely check out Locals Haymarket Tacos and Tequila. There's also, I have some at Great Maine. I have a few murals at Great Maine. I also, there's a local veterinary clinic nearby that I also have a lot of murals at, Summit Veterinary Care. I've done almost every room in her building, which is amazing. I've done a lot of locals houses as well, and a lot over in like the Vint Hill, Warrenton area. If anybody's been to Erin's Elderberries, I did her murals as well. Yes. So for the wall, we were thinking that it would be nice to kind of have like a basis of like what the roots are of Haymarket. So some of the farmland, so we have like a farm scene with mountains kind of behind. And then I have sort of a tribute to the Haymarket Farmers Market. So it's like some vegetables, some fruits, some flowers. So it's kind of symbolizing abundance in Haymarket, and also like a local favorite, like the spirit of Haymarket, with the small businesses and the on the other side, there's like a small portion that's not pictured here, but it has a shop local sign, and some additional like fruit and vegetables and things. So it's just supposed to be about like the local like community coming together, the connection that we have. Yes. Do you have anything?
No. Oh, well, the love sign is just, that is not the actual colors that will be there. It's just like to give you a vision of how it would look with different seasons of color, because that's just a background with our sketches, but
But
it'll
that'll
be
have,
amazing.
Yeah.
a lot of the drawings will have different colors. It'll be
Oh,
multicolored,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Like you
Just-
did up at the
Yes.
restaurant.
hmm
It'll be pretty true to, it'll all be bright and vibrant because that's our specialty, but the, each thing will be kind of true to color. So like the pumpkins will be orange, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it will all be kind of a true to color kind of, scene.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you guys, I think you guys could probably read it in your packet, but it's Town of Haymarket, everyone's hometown is what it says. And then the,
And the
symbol.
established is on there too.
And
So we thought that that would just be really an amazing place for people to gather. You know, it's right across from the Haymarket Museum. So it'll be kind of a really cool visual coming into the town. A neat place to come and like take a
Some
picture if you
photos.
wanted, or, you know, walk by when you go to the farmer's market.
And Mayor and Council, I would also like to recognize Rachel's here with Century Stair, if you want to give a little wave. And so Century Stair has been helping a lot with a lot of our events lately and partnering with us. And so we're super excited because they're willing to partner with us to make the love sign.
and donate that material. So that's something that I think it also goes to show a lot of business partnerships that we're working on. You'll also take note that it is in front of Thrive. So Mayor and I's original thought here with artists is that the love sign can be moved. It is ideally in this place, and together the mural and the love sign work to make a certain statement, but it can also be relocated long term. I think it would be great to maybe have another love sign at the park when it's finished, or maybe move this one down there. But we will be speaking and meeting with Thrive. They are on board. Of course, they want to see what we're proposing. So we were scheduled to meet last week, unable to make that happen though. So we'll be meeting in coming days with them.
One thing I didn't mention is it does meet the standard to also be on the registry for the love signs. So when people are traveling around Virginia to take pictures or find a love sign, it will meet that criteria, which is great.
So I
It has to be
think
4 feet tall at least.
I think, one last thing, if you could speak to the long-term care of it and at what we could expect its lifespan to be, and then what you would expect we as the owner of it would need to do to take care of it. And then after that, I think if council and ARB want to ask any questions, you're open to do so.
So the mural should last at least for 10 years or longer, but I can definitely come back and do any kind of touch if need be. It should probably be fine with just soap and water. It's not like a very high maintenance thing. I can put an extra coating on it. It doesn't need an extra coating with the type of paint that I would use. It's an exterior paint that would be protective already. But I could also additionally put another layer if we want, but it's not actually necessary, but we could if we also want to just make sure it's extra protected. And then just simple soap and water is fine.
Thank you.
Is that also the love sign maintenance?
Yeah, the love sign would be a little bit less because it's wood. And so it won't last quite up to the same level that the mural would, but it will last a pretty long time. I can't exactly say with wood, but it's a very, we were talking a little bit beforehand that it would be the marine density plywood, which is a really great wood to use that's very weather resistant. So hopefully it'll last a long time.
Thank you.
You want to open it up to questions, comments?
I got plenty.
Yeah, I have a few. I think a couple got, maybe, Emily, this is maybe a question for you, just to make sure that we're all checking our boxes and that we do, since we do have the ARB representation here as well. Could you talk a little bit about how this would map and comply with our current sign ordinance?
Certainly. So, reference to the mural or the love sign?
I'm
Or
thinking more the love sign.
the love sign. So, I think this would be a unique thing that we need to take into consideration, because in our sign ordinance, we do not have something of this nature represented. So this would be a temporary structure that we've placed. It is, I would say, you're looking here at, you're doing placemaking, you're doing community art. And so this would be more of the unique standard that is set by the government. We can look further into setting a specific ordinance for it. If it sets a precedence, which it will, and others may want to do a love sign, where we're going to fall back on our looking at and how does that apply to what this other to do? Are they looking to do a love sign that meets the requirements to be on the list that's over 4 feet, right? So we can look at that program and establish some statements. We could kind of put that out there as part of our, not necessarily our sign ordinance, but we could put it out there as, if you were wanting to do something similar, it would need to follow the guidelines of the Virginia Love Program, and then we could stop it at that. I don't think, I'm just going to use an example, I don't think you're going to have a business that wants to come and put a sign that says beer And I think in that instance, our precedence would be, we have put this up for the Virginia Love Sign program. We are meeting their standards and on their program list. And therefore, if you want to do a sign, you need to meet the same standards. It has to say love, not beer. Does that address some of it?
It does.
Okay.
I'll shorten it a little bit. It still sounds to me likely need to have some type of a special use permit to allow it, or because a temporary sign, as you said, I think is restricted to 45 days.
It is restricted to 45 days. In this instance, it would not fall under a special use permit.
Okay. Yeah, don't get me wrong. First of all, I love the design.
Mhm.
I mean, I want to thank you for coming in. I absolutely love the way it looks. I'm kind of, I love the idea of the art. I will go on record to say my first thought when this first came up was, why are we doing this on a private business and not doing it in our own town park, or frankly on our own town green right out here in front. So that was one of the the first things I thought. But I do love the design. It looks great. So I commend you, and I really appreciate you wanting to do this for the town. So I just have the concerns because I am concerned about other businesses who you may want to do something similar, even if they wanted to do a love sign. Are we going to have them all throughout the town? I've had at least one other business talk about, frankly, ask me already, flagpole can I come up? Can I put up to fly I want to fly a very large American flag. So I want to make sure that if we're making exceptions in one place per our own ordinances, that we're being open to all of these things. I'm just trying to think about it from perspective.
Absolutely. And I know that Olan's here, and we can touch base with him in a little bit also and ask him to weigh in on that. As a location, I will just state, this location, I don't want to say it was just open, but with the mural and standing there looking at it, standing over at the museum, it looked like a very prime opportunity, especially if you're in a vehicle and you're driving in, it's a really great visual as you enter into the town. Your eye is able to look and kind of it narrows in on the downtown. It's also a really great visual impact as a pedestrian on the street. But long term, once our park is done, or even before, if council loves it but says this isn't the right spot for the love sign, we can talk about putting it out front. We can talk about putting it at the park. This was just the idea that we had come up with in our. I will say the only thing to keep in mind for the park, children climbing on it. So I think we do need to keep that factor in mind when deciding its final location for now.
There would be an agreement in place in
Absolutely.
partnership with the business.
Absolutely, yes. So Olan and I have already spoken on that topic. So we are already working to draft, if council wishes to proceed forward with this, we have been working on drafting an agreement between the private business owner and the town. This would be a town sign. We are asking to place it on their property, and we would go through a full agreement, and there would be a signed document with that private business. And it would actually be with the property owner. She just happens to also own the business as well. She does not rent.
Any other questions?
You want to go?
You want to go, Ken?
Yeah. First, I'll put on my councilman hat, right? This is a great concept and everything. I really appreciate the work that you've already put into it. I just want to make sure that we're not showing favoritism. Is this under a limit that doesn't require us to do any type of bids out?
That's correct. It's well within the $10,000 spending limit.
Okay. That's pretty much the only really question I had as a council member. Now I'll put my ARB hat on. I need to know if we do end up finding this location, what is your concept? Are we looking at staggered letters? Are we looking at inline letters?
In line, it would be classic,
Okay. I'm assuming you're going to have a background color to each, different for each letter, but is it going to be like a solid color or is it going to do some fading like it is represented here on the picture?
Maybe both, a little bit of both. I think fading, but then get to the buildings and people, those will be more of a solid.
It won't look like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
they're
is
not,
Just
what
to
will
give
look
it-
like.
yeah, they're not going to be sketched. I'm assuming you're going to make it a solid
Yeah.
picture with the buildings.
It'll look
and-
kind of true to what you would expect. I don't know if that makes
So,
sense.
so
like-
even though you'll have the background colors, you'll still be fading in like a sky concept
Yeah.
around the buildings and.
Yeah.
So maybe to clarify, so if we're looking at the L, Kim, could you go to the L for me? So are we thinking that this would be like grasses in this area here with the pumpkins and the leaves? And then up there where the trees in the museum are, you have that sky area. So that would possibly be blue. And then all your features would be painted on it. So it would look very much like a landscape in that sense.
Mhm.
Yes, and it'll be like fall leaves colors, and then the buildings will be true to color.
Yeah.
The railroad will be true to color, you know.
The lamppost.
Right.
Okay, and my final question is, we got to take scale into consideration so it doesn't overshadow any of the other buildings. Right now, the representation you have here, this sucker's huge compared to, so we need a little bit more detail on measurements and stuff like that, so we can understand what the scale
Our estimate was
is.
for it to be 5 feet.
5 feet tall?
5 feet.
And if council and ARB would like, we can take a brief pause and walk over there and look at it. It's right here. If that helps, and I'll bring the tape measure and I can stand up there and measure it.
Oh, yeah.
If that helps with the visual, happy to do so.
Yep.
You want to do that? Take a brief recess right now?
Well, let's get all the questions before we do that. Those are pretty much my questions. Thanks.
Okay, might as well just keep going down this way.
Yep.
By the way, when I was up there getting the burrito, I saw that sign. I was very impressed with it. It's absolutely beautiful. And if your mural is anything like that, that's going to be stunning, I think, for the town. The colors are just something that are beautiful for, especially in the off seasons like the winter, you know, before spring really hits. And I think it'll give us a pop of color.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just say that, but I have the same concern about the scale. I'm not sure how that's going to look. So you don't want to overwhelm either the building and the business, right? So I guess we can go out later and take a quick look at that.
Sure.
The questions I have are a little bit more mundane, not so aesthetic and artistic. So this might be for staff about legal liability and legal issues. I understand the agreement and all, but I would have a concern about how it's secured.
We'll go through all that in the agreement and ensure that it's secured.
So it's mobile, but it's going to be secured and we're going to install it.
Yes, so we're
town.
gonna install it and then we will maintain it. We will have a check-in on it, making sure that it's still secured, it has not shifted and all of that.
Okay. And I want to thank Century Stair. If it sounds like you're going to do an in-kind donation. And so what kind of wood are we talking about?
So it's primed MDO. It's what we use for primed MDO.
Oh, okay.
What we use for the stringers.
Right. And you're going to do some kind of weatherproofing on that as well?
It is weatherproof.
It automatically is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that sounds pretty good. So is this going to necessitate some kind of a adjustment to our ordinance? I know you were asking about that. Are we going to have to do one, like a special exception, or should we kind of adjust the ordinance to make it acceptable? That's not going to be an issue in the future.
Let me follow up on the answer to that question.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Thank you.
I like that. Well, hey, listen, we were talking about it the other day, and I'm of the opinion, I'd love to see something on a big brick wall somewhere.
Yeah.
We're psyched
Okay.
about that idea.
Are you thinking about that too?
Yeah, we were definitely
funny
like,
that
that would be the perfect
Uh-huh.
canvas.
We're looking
for
at all
Yeah.
the buildings now.
the hotel, the brick hotel.
So,
Giant.
or maybe the caboose, I don't know, maybe the caboose might be a platform as
Okay,
well.
is that actually a possibility? My husband actually recommended that, but I was like, I don't know, because the historic significance of the caboose.
Well,
We probably, I don't know.
And
That
see,
would be-
council, I'll
let's
be
get their
honest,
hats
as
on.
staff,
Tie-dye,
I
tie-dye.
always thought that the caboose was kind of off limits as a staff point of view. So if that's on the table, that can
Well,
also
I
be a
mean-
discussion.
I mean, I'm a railroad person. That was my career. I don't think there's any restriction on making changes to the caboose itself. But from a historic perspective,
I was
perhaps the ARB would want to weigh in.
Right.
But I really do think the mural on a building would be outstanding. So,
We're hopeful. We're so into it.
okay. Megan and Crystalline.
Crystalline.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Mary?
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for coming. I have been like biting at the bit since like the small town conference to get some kind of mural up. So I love the proposal you guys have. I appreciate you guys integrating all the small pieces of our culture here in our town. I would like to ask,
Are we okay?
I would like to ask council to kind of consider maybe choosing a piece of property that we own. I appreciate the idea of the caboose, or putting the love sign on the property that has the museum, or where our little reading library is up against where the hotel is. That might be a good spot for people to come and enjoy and take pictures. And then that way they're not kind of like trying to take a photo right on the street. Because I do have concerns about, when I'm thinking of how we rephrase an ordinance and to allow us to do this, the private business piece is what I'm finding most difficult. I think that if we were to change an ordinance and allow ourselves as the government entity to put up a sign of this magnitude and of this quality, then that's the exception. And it obviously is going to go through the checks and balances, the public forum and all of that. So that way we don't have giant beer signs. But I would like council to maybe consider one of our pieces of property. I think another great location for the mural is this wall right behind the dais here, this big giant white wall. I know it's not necessarily easy to see from the street, but I know people are walking through during the farmer's market and it could be a great photo op opportunity. I think we could consider different options as well. I don't know if I'm completely comfortable taking real estate at a private business.
The retaining wall is the town of Haymarket's.
Right.
Put in by the town when we put the sidewalk in.
Sure. And I have no problem with us putting a mural on our property, but you also have to look at the optics of a citizen being like, why did you put a mural in front of a private business, but not mine? You get what I'm saying? We don't want to seem like we're favoriting something.
Absolutely understand.
Phrasing easier. It's our right as a government entity to draw in tourism, right? So those are my thoughts.
Just a couple things. I mean, everybody has spoken about how much they love this idea. And from an ARB perspective, I love it as well. Two questions. I actually agree with not having the love sign above the retaining wall, but I do love the retaining wall. The things I think about are in the design of the letters. You know, I think all of us have been in Old Town Manassas and see people hanging all over down there. How is the design of this going to allow for years of people hanging on it, getting their pictures taken? Plus, I also get concerned about that retaining wall is about 4 feet high. What if somebody takes a tumble off the top of it when they're trying to get their picture in front of the love sign? And I think if we relocate the sign, it quells a lot of those concerns right there. But I love the idea in general. I think it's absolutely what's needed.
So you love the love sign?
I love the love sign. I love the retaining wall. I just don't like the love sign on top of the retaining wall.
What do you think about the beer sign?
We can talk later.
Some vines and squirrels around it.
Can I just
I
make
gotta,
one question related to the love sign? Is the concept trying to get a synergy between the mural and the sign itself? Or is it not problematic to make it in another location.
For me, it's not problematic,
Okay.
but I like the
Like the
love
synergy.
Haymarket, like love it. You know what I
All
mean?
right, so there is
So I
kind
do
of, there
think
is
that's
kind of a
cool.
synergy
There
there.
is a synergy, but
Hmm.
it's not the end of the world if we don't have
Right.
it there, you
Okay.
know? Like, I do feel like it could potentially be somewhere else, but it's up to everybody, you know?
Okay, thank you. Mayor.
Alexander?
Okay, a couple of things. In terms of the ordinance, Emily, I would like us to play with our based, I would like us to follow our own policies, ordinance, what have you, right? I don't think it's fair for us to adhere to our ordinance and expect others, businesses and so forth to adhere to them, right? So as much as possible, I'd like to follow our own rules or policy. And in terms of bid and proposal, I understand that this is less than 10K, but to me, at the end of the day, I mean, what are we doing to make sure that it is competitive, right? Whatever we end up paying for the service, what have you, how do we know it's competitive? Or is it just because it's $10,000, we just, don't think about the cost? I'm just trying to get an idea.
So the spending policy that the council's adopted is that the town manager has authority to spend up to $10,000 and that you guys have entrusted that limit of expenditure to your staff. And then anything above that is where we're collecting bids and weighing the options.
I do understand that part, but what I'm trying to get at is how do we know if we do move forward with this, right?
Mhm.
Which, first of all, I love this idea. I love the design and everything. How do we know it is a competitive rate, fee, what have you? How do we know? How do we know? Do we do anything? Do we do any type of analysis?
Depending on the project, we do reach out and we get multiple quotes that, yes. But in this scenario, I've not reached out to other artists to ask them to bid up and do a mural design for us. I've worked with the artists that approached the town of Haymarket.
So this started by the artist approaching the town? Is
That's
this how it
correct.
got started?
Mhm.
Okay. So we don't have any idea into what the
No, but
market.
if
Okay.
it's council's desire, I can reach out, but please understand that for an artist, that is a lot to reach out and ask them to design out a mural and go through this entire process to do that and get quotes on it. But I can do that if that's
I can
council's
speak a little bit to that.
desire. Sure.
So usually muralists actually charge ahead of time for designs. I didn't because I really want to do it. Also, I would say that I am competitive, and if you want to look it up on AI, look up like what's the general cost of a mural, I can tell you I'm a very competitive price. And it's just so recently I did win the Best of Haymarket Gainesville too for Best Artist, so that's exciting. So a lot of people trust me in the community and want to work with me, and so just to say that we are good at our jobs and we would love to help, and we're both locals too. So
Fair enough. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is I understand, this does not meet the threshold, right? Not just for this project, but for other projects. I want us to get to a point where we are doing some sort of a study or research analysis to determine that whatever we end up paying, even though it's less than $10,000, is competitive, right? Okay, great, okay. And in terms of the agreement with the business that owns the property where the love sign is going, businesses come and go, ownership change, hopefully we will address that part, right?
The agreement.
That will be applicable to future
It
businesses
would
as
be
well.
with the property owner, and so it would be written in the agreement that at any time, should the property owner change, we would probably go in and we'd remove our sign.
I think they call that run with the land. Is that right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
You
right.
draft it to sort of land, or you draft it so it's state property owners.
Okay.
If you draft it from the land, what happened is they would agree that they were bound by the contract, but also their successors of the signs were bound by the contract also.
Okay. All right, perfect, thank you. And in terms of the design of the love sign, I don't think it's a good idea to feature businesses like Aroma, you said. And I know this is the final, right? Some businesses,
we can take that
and
out.
again, businesses come and go, and some businesses are may think it's unfair for us to feature a local business, right? I think there's references to cookies and cream, cupcakes and so forth. Again, businesses come and go, right? I would like us to feature things that we know are going to be around for the foreseeable future, as well as I don't want us to, for other businesses to have
I
the
like the
perception
building, not
that we are
not the
favoring
sign.
certain businesses within the town, right? It's something to think about. All right, okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Ken.
Okay. Yeah, I was so focused on the sign, I forgot about the mural on the wall because really the mural on the wall is perfect. I think it fits right into the architectural structures and the themes. My only concern is you say we got about a 10-year life on it. Since it does sit so low to the ground, you are going to get all kinds of salt spray during the winter times. You got scuff marks from people walking and actually accidentally brushing up against it. Do you know, is there a paint that can handle it or maybe some type of clear top coat that's
Yes.
hardened?
Yes, that's what I was saying is I could add that additional protective layer.
Okay. Yeah, that was my only add-on. And I do like the synergy of it being above the mural, the love sign. My only concern is exactly what Mary expressed with, which was, on a business property and so on. But for the favoritism of businesses on the mural, you can focus on the building itself and the architecture. Just don't put the signage of what the business is for that piece of
I don't think
architecture.
we had that in there, actually.
It's
It was
just
just
the only
before
thing
It's
the
just on
buildings.
aroma.
Is it?
It's only on aroma. It says aroma, but I think if you struck
And
the name of aroma too, and you just kept the architectural style like
Right.
Ken was stating.
Right.
I kind of wanted to allude to the beer and wine feature
Right.
of Haymarket,
Right.
but we weren't sure what
I'm
to
okay
put
with
in,
that.
and that was aromas was the best, like architecturally.
Beer mug,
Recog-
a beer mug and a wine, you
recognizable.
go on one or the other.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, but like, yeah, I was like, is that too, nail on the head?
Yeah, you can do that through symbolism, right?
Put a few hair dryers for all our salons that we have in town.
So you would not want cookies and cream bear? Is that?
I think the bear is fine if
Bear is
council's
fine.
open
I
to it,
think the
because I
bear is
think the
fine.
bear alludes to some of the like summery feel of an ice cream shop. I think that would be fine.
It's just the actual name of the
Right.
business and concentrate on the historic nature of the building.
Okay.
Yeah, because like Cupcake, you have the structure, you focus on the architectural features of the building. Same with the Cookies and Cream building itself, and then you just have the bear, but you don't have the name of the business.
I think a statue, sorry, I think a statue that symbolizes like, I don't know, when I think of ice cream and I think of the bear, it makes me feel happy. It doesn't make me think cookies and cream only. It's just like, oh, I love that bear. It does feel a part of
I agree.
Haymarket.
Roberta made a suggestion you could swap the bear out with the police mascot, but still have him holding ice cream.
Exactly, that'd
We
be
could
good.
do that. Yeah, I mean, there's,
Because they're in the police incorporated in that.
I do love that bear
Sure.
too. I have 2 little kids and they love ice cream.
They
and
love the
cookies and
bear?
cream.
Like Yogi Bear. So we're hearing some concerns, but I think overall we've heard some positives about doing this, right? I mean, it's some very good points from the financial perspective, and we'll take a look at that. I mean, I don't think that's too problematic though. But this thing about the love sign itself, one of the things we might want to consider, and I don't know how well this would work, but maybe this would be a truly mobile love sign that we would move around from time to time.
It will
And
look-
for other businesses, perhaps. I mean, I get the whole synergy idea too. I mean, I can respect that from an artistic standpoint, but also from other businesses and competition and what have you. Well, what about us, right? So maybe if we can move it around a little bit and use it for other businesses, not all the businesses would benefit from it. But, there's a thought you might want to consider.
The only small negative to that
Okay.
is the to be registered in the Love Works for Virginia, it has to be permanent.
Oh, it has to be permanent.
yes.
Although I think it could be
Okay.
removed, but it has to be considered permanent when it's installed.
And for how long is permanent?
I would think
It has to
with
be 4 feet
them-
and permanent.
I would think with them that we could place it and then say in 2 years' time, if you said, hey, we need to move it, we could just alert them and reapply and say, we've changed its location to this address, but
They-
it's permanently installed.
Literally what they ask for in that program is the longitude and latitude,
Yep.
the exact location for the sign.
Mhm.
They ask for who the sponsoring organization is, and they very specifically ask for a write-up
Mhm.
on that. And there are, if you follow that Facebook page in that group, there are people who travel just to go get their pay. Like, oh, I haven't had my picture taken with that one yet, and they follow the new ones.
Do we have a copy of that available?
I can make a copy available, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to
It's
see
just
it.
online.
Oh, it is?
Yep, you just look
It's
up
on
the
their website.
Virginia Love Sign Program. It's on there.
It's right on the website.
It would look very sharp at our new town hall when the exterior is all done. We have a new green space designed, and this would be a really great addition to it.
It would certainly give Olan some work, extra work, if we move it around.
If we do, yeah, yeah.
Can I ask a practical question? How long will it take for you to do this?
Well, if you say yes, I'd love to have it done by Haymarket Day.
Ah,
That's the goal.
I see. I see.
And if you say yes, and Megan has it done by Haymarket Day, Miss Julia here was also planning that it would be a very nice welcoming feature into Haymarket Day on that end of town, and it would be a good unveiling of it as a kickoff at our Haymarket Day. But there's no pressure.
All right, and last question, what funding line item are we talking about?
Tourism.
Well, what number?
Can you read off the
So that everybody has it.
Hold
I'm
on.
trying to remember it by heart. But I can't.
Oh, I thought you had this by memory, Roberto.
I have the numbers by memory.
Okay, you can look it up and
would
give it to
be,
us later.
Which one do you want on there? 60001.
6001. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Alexander?
Yes, I do appreciate the local business willing to donate the love sign. But if possible, again, I'm not familiar with the material that you mentioned. I don't know how sturdy it is, but I'm thinking it might be best to make it as sturdy as possible. Is there anything, even for a fee, that could be done to make it more strengthen it? Yeah, more.
Yeah, I mean, we can add, because I'm
not sure Ribbing.
exactly what
Why don't you come on up?
have to be.
Okay.
It's something I would take back to my CAD team. Because I'm more of a designer at Century Stair, so I know the material, I know it's weatherproof, but yeah, as far as thickness for, being able to withstand if somebody wants to climb on it.
Yeah, that's great.
That sort of thing. I would have to have them look at it, but yes, we would thicken it to the point where it was.
Okay, all right, thank you.
If the council ultimately decides that they don't want to see the love sign on private property, can you please decide what your second location would be?
Do we want to go around?
You have any ideas?
Not the park and not the museum. And the reason I say both of those, park, too many people are going to climb on it. The museum, I don't think you're going to get the visual impact. So I think it either needs to be this business or in front of town hall. And then we'll just have to adjust the farmer's market accordingly. Sorry, Julia. I just don't think that the little pocket park at the museum gives a good visual. And then the caboose, too much like Manassas. Let Manassas do their thing and let's do something all our own.
I'm just thinking about the location, right? And the idea is to have it somewhat, and I'm putting the synergy aside, something centrally located, I think is what you're thinking, right?
Yeah.
And so if you did move it to some other place, it's not really the optimal location, right? That's what you're thinking?
Yes,
And-
but
and
also
if there's a
try to
cons-
think about when you're driving in your car into town, when you're walking. If you're walking, sure, you're gonna look over, you're gonna see over by the Civil War signs and the little free library, you'll see by the museum, you'll see a sign there. But when you're driving, you get a much different visual impact on this left side of the road, the north side of Washington Street, just based on how the buildings are set further back, and you have more open air as you're driving along. So I think the visual impact of the love sign will be better received, again, either out front or on this property. If our park was fully built out, I would say let's put it down at the park. But since it's not fully built out, those kids tore up that community garden. I mean, they're rough on stuff. I just feel like without our park fully built out, this is just going to be an attractive jungle gym. And this love sign won't make it a month if it's at the park right now.
Hey, Olan, can you come up to the mic? So, I mean, we're hearing a concern about doing it on private business on their property. So I just wonder what your thoughts would be on that. Are there other areas, other places where they've done this kind of partnering? I don't know. With private businesses, I mean, this is not unique, is it? Or
It's not unique. I really don't have any concern with it, as long as we have an agreement in place that protects the town. We can draft it in a way that makes sure that in terms of liability, we are covered, our bases are covered. So it being a private property loan doesn't really bother me at all. I was also looking at the sign ordinance, and it currently has an exemption provision in it that talks about the fact that government, if the signs are erected by a governmental body, there's an exemption that applies in terms of needing a sign permit. So that may protect us from having to get a sign permit. If we were going to amend the ordinance, I would say amend that provision to say governmental body, comma, participation with the LOVE program and as required by law, something like that.
okay, thank you. Yep. I'm gonna think about it.
Would it help council at all? Again, we can step out there and take a look at it. Would it help council feel better if we had a small sign to the side that said, for all, photo ops, please remain on the sidewalk when you take your photo, so that we're really encouraging people not to climb up there and stand up there, and we make like a selfie spot there on the sidewalk like a lot of places do?
I already asked about that too, and there is the local sign makers do make a selfie spot.
Like stand.
Like the
here.
stamp vinyl thing, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
there is a concern of public safety, right? Because it is kind of narrow in that location. That's one of the drawbacks in my mind.
Not only that, it's a liability on the business, because now all of a sudden you got a business property that these guys are climbing on. So, you almost have to have the no trespassing signs hammered in front of it.
Oh, you mean like the Hollywood sign?
Emily,
Like the
can we go out and
Yeah.
look at this space?
Pretty much.
Let's go
That way I
look
think we
at
can get a
it.
better visual.
Yes. Also,
Quickly.
can I just say
Ridiculous
one thing real
concerns,
quick?
but-
Well, you're the
Thank you.
mayor. Of
You're the
course you
mayor.
can.
Of
Okay.
course you may. You are the mayor.
First of all, thank you so much. The design is amazing. I'm very excited about this entire concept, not only supporting local artists, but driving business into town and being able to share something so unique. That is what murals do. It's a representation of that town. I go into Warrenton, I go into Leesburg, I see what their concept and perception was, and I am very excited. As far as ordinances, I just like everybody to keep in mind, this world is changing. And there are a lot of things that are going to be happening that we have to look at things, simply scooters in the bike lane, like how are we going to address those kinds of things? I didn't have scooters when I was riding my bike, but so being open to more acceptance of we're going to have to adjust some of these things. And even though we're participating in this program, we've got, it's about tourism and building. So those are my 2 cents. Thank you so much. And the partnerships with businesses, I can't thank you enough. So thank you. All right, so we're going to take a brief break and go out to the location. So we are back from our little field trip. Thank you. Are there any final comments in regards to, now that we've been out and we've seen the placement, the height, the width? I heard that go ahead, Ken.
Okay, ARB hat. I like the placement being more in the corner of the property, which we were looking at right in front of that large tree, mainly because it does separate the association from the business. It does stand alone. In that case, it's not integrated with it. I would prefer that we identify what kind of angle we're going to put on it. 30 degrees looks like it's appropriate, but no more than 45 feet or 45 degrees. The size limit to 16 feet wide by the 5 feet tall.
12. 12 feet wide.
Okay, and that's including the spacing between the lettering?
Oh, it may be a little bit more.
So no more than 16. Those are the type of, I just want to try and put the limitations on what the ARB recommendation is.
Okay.
And I guess just to be transparent, ARB does not have a quorum, so ARB cannot make a vote. All we can do is give you guys a suggestion to override us.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
Concurrence from David, please,
I concur completely.
as an ARB.
Olan, would you please go over again the ordinance exception that we could utilize? Also understanding that, yes, the ordinance does need to be adjusted moving into the future, but we could move forward with the project with
Olan,
what we
you
have.
can take that seat. That's going to be your seat tonight, so
Yeah.
you can go ahead and get cozy.
I miss you.
Exemptions under 58-17.5. You may want to have a look at it so you can see what it says. It says sign permit shall not be required for the following signs in any district, and it lists a number of exemptions. One of which is signs erected by a governmental body or required by law. So that could be amended to say something else, to add, to give us an opportunity to erect this sort of sign in accordance with the LOVE program. And we could add that language in. There may be some blowback from that, because it's like, we change the ordinance to benefit the locality, it could be a problem. But that's one thing that we would do, I think would be reasonable, and be commonsensical, and also, I think, legal to do as well, so.
Okay. Matt?
Any kind of change that we make, am I correct in saying that we would have to put public notice out about that?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, you got to do a hearing.
Go ahead.
As much as we would all love for this to be a great Haymarket Day unveiling, we can also look at it being unveiling at our holiday event, which is in December 13th. So that could be a secondary option if we need a little more time with what we're looking at and discussing tonight.
Joe?
Could we do the mural first?
Thank you for taking my thunder.
Just trying to find a solution
Yes.
that works for everybody. If we could do the mural, that could be done for Haymarket Day, and then perhaps the love sign
So-
for.
Maybe another idea, do we do the mural? Do we make the love sign and do we temporarily place it for one day with the permission of the property owner and that discussion? And then we pull it back and we do what we need to on our end for the love sign. And then when we're ready, we permanently place it.
After the ordinance change.
After the
the
ordinance
public notice
change,
and
once
all
we
that.
finalize its location, once we kind of have it, we can also, if we temporarily place it there, we can make sure we like its placement. If we look at it and maybe we like it in front of town hall, that could be a permanent location. And then once we permanently set it, then we would apply for the Virginia Love Program.
And in the application, is that self-policing or do we have to get approval?
For the,
No, for the sign, for the love sign, the Virginia application.
That'd be self-approving, I think.
Mhm.
But actually, the LOVE program may require its own.
It's just notification, I think. more
Just
than-
Yeah.
It's just notification.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take a look. then.
would
Okay.
that be an acceptable solution?
I'm on board with that.
Ask a question. Is the mural allowed per our current ordinance?
I think the mural's allowed, but there's certain requirements, and I have to look through it to make sure, but I think it is allowed pursuant to our ordinance. if we do the mural, we've got to make sure it's the right length and everything, and meet color requirements as well. So let me look through this just to make sure we can meet those requirements.
Can we bring that back into the regular meeting?
Yes,
I was
If-
gonna
we
say,
can
allow a
absolutely
lot of
bring it
time?
back into the regular meeting. We can add it to the agenda. I think at this point, if the council does not have any further questions for the artist here, we can let them go. We can further discuss, and then I can follow up with them following our discussion later this evening. Is that acceptable?
Yes.
Yes,
Everybody on board with
Yep.
that?
no objection.
No objection.
No objection.
Thank you,
Okay.
ladies.
Thank you
very
guys
much.
so much for coming out and presenting it. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
And thank you, Century Stick.
Thank you.
Hold on, what was the code section again? 58?
Forgot my,
If I had the Muni code site right.
oh, so now,
If we go just to Muni code, we'll pull up. Let's see.
58-17.5.
Okay. Yes.
Unless you guys want to continue discussing, I did want to give everybody a few minutes between our meetings to prepare because we do have a lot happening at the beginning of our 7 o'clock.
Absolutely.
So if you guys, if there's anything you want to wrap up real quick, let's do that.
We were just waiting for Olan
Okay.
to let us know again what the ordinance number was. 58-17.5.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else from anybody in regards to this topic? No?
Well, I would like to ask Olin, in terms of liability, I mean, what are your thoughts? Placing,
I have the same concerns you have in terms of people, standing on the wall, people being hurt by the sign potentially, and then parade of horribles, and an attorney's mind can go crazy.
yeah.
But I think it's important for us to think about, the worst case scenarios and draft the language so that we protect the town and we protect other people as well and the business also. So I think it's doable. This is not the first time a town's put a sign up on its own property or someone else's property. So it's just a matter of doing it the right way and being smart about it and crafting language that protects us.
Including the proposed location in terms of the buried wall and
Yeah,
the potential for.
those are decisions you'll have to make. I mean, personally, further away from the wall, I think it's a better idea. So no one is close to the edge.
Right, okay.
But I'm not counsel.
Okay.
So,
Towards the tree. All right. Anybody else? No? All right. So if there's no other business to discuss, do I have a motion?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, first, second. Any, all in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Thank you very much. We'll be back for our 7 o'clock.
Time to get your cookie.